Hello and welcome to the Tourism Skillshop, hosted by State of Washington Tourism, SWT. My name is Matthew Ozuna, and I am the Destination Development Manager at SWT. I will introduce today's webinar regarding online tools for tourism listings with Locl. Please utilize the chat function in Microsoft Teams to say hello and let us know where you are zooming in from today. Feel free to share your comments in the chat box and use the Q&A feature anytime during the webinar to let us know what questions you have. I'll do my best to organize and prioritize questions and bring them to the attention of the speakers near the end of the webinar. In case you don't know, the Tourism Skillshop is one of many industry educational programs from State of Washington Tourism. This webinar series will engage with colleagues across the tourism sector and broaden their industry knowledge, skills, and network. Each webinar will highlight a specific issue or skill within the tourism sector for professionals to ponder and discuss with industry experts. SWT usually hosts live webinars of the Tourism Skillshop on the third or fourth Thursday of every month from 10 to 11 a.m. This is the exception today. Skillshop webinars are free and open to all tourism stakeholders. These webinars will also be recorded and shared with registrants, as well as other users on the SWT YouTube channel. For Tourism Skillshop and other industry updates, visit the SWT industry website, sign up for the industry update newsletter, and follow SWT on LinkedIn. Tourism stakeholders may also join the SWT Facebook group for further discussion on topics related to the Tourism Skillshop and other industry news, issues, and events. Now, let's dive into today's webinar. Optimizing online listings for tourism-related businesses and nonprofits is the subject of this webinar in the Tourism Skillshop. These entities will benefit from a new partnership between SWT and Locl that provides tourism stakeholders with tools to manage Google business profiles and customer reviews, thereby boosting their online visibility and credibility. This service is free for tourism-related businesses and nonprofits in the state of Washington. Join Michelle McKenzie, Kat Sherry, and Mark Patterson as they demonstrate how Locl can help you improve search rankings, monitor customer engagement, and analyze performance insights to make data-driven decisions. All right, panel, thank you for being here today. Many of you know Michelle McKenzie. She is the Director of Marketing at State of Washington Tourism. I already introduced myself, but let me tell you a little bit more about Kat and Mark. Kat is the Director of Customer Success at Locl with over a decade of experience in media and marketing technology. She has partnered with Fortune 500 companies and fast-growing startups to drive success at local, national, and even global levels. Passionate about client outcomes, Kat excels at building trusted relationships and delivering strategic insights that enhance the customer journey. So Kat, looking forward to your presentation today and this new partnership with Locl. And we also have a friend of ours from Oregon joining us today. So Mark, you're with a Washington State audience, but I'm sure many of us have visited your area in Oregon, the Willamette Valley. Mark Patterson owns and operates May Your Glass Be Filled Tours, which provides curated wine, brewery, and distillery experiences in Oregon's Willamette Valley. Mark began his professional driving career in 1999 in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and has spent over 20 years perfecting his craft in tourism. And Mark, you're a great success story working with the Travel Oregon and Locl and Kat. So I can't wait to kind of hear your story and kind of the benefits that you've received from Locl. So with that, folks, I'm going to monitor the chat and keep an eye on Q&A. I'll turn things over to Michelle to kind of let people know a little bit more about the partnership with Locl, and then she'll turn it over to Kat. So Michelle, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, just a quick intro. Locl is something that we have been interested in exploring as an organization for quite some time. And really, how can we as a state tourism organization better support local businesses in the tourism industry? And we think that Locl is going to be a great tool to use that by helping businesses optimize their online profiles across many things. We know that business owners are busy and don't have a lot of time. So we were looking at how do we step in and help create some education and some efficiency and just hopefully make things a little bit easier for our business partners around Washington in tourism and hospitality. And just a quick thank you to the Washington Tourism Marketing Authority for authorizing some one-time funding for this program, as well as to the Washington Hospitality Association, who is helping to promote it. If you're at a DMO, we also encourage you to share this with your membership. It is, as Matt mentioned, free to hospitality businesses around the state. Not looking for you to do work, just share the message. And then if folks have questions, we will direct them over to Kat. And with that, I will turn it over to Kat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. That was such a great introduction. I am so excited to be meeting with you all today. We have seen so much momentum since we launched this program in Washington. So a huge shout out to everyone who's already made it such a success. And I'm so pumped today to keep that momentum going. You know a little bit more about me. I am based in Denver, Colorado. So I'm really excited to not only be expanding our local network to Washington, but my personal network too. I am your point of contact here at Local. I do a little bit of everything. And I'm so excited to talk more about Local today and how Local empowers the small business growth that we've seen in partnership with State of Washington Tourism. Really, my goal here today is for you guys to have fun and have an engaging webinar. Please use the chat. I'll be going back and forth as questions come along. I'm going to make you a believer in what we do. And I'm so excited, again, to be rolling with this program. It's our first one, so you guys are a part of history here today. So let's jump into it. Quick agenda of what we're going to go over today. So there is no Local without Google. So we're going to start with some Google Business Profile fundamentals. While we are not Google, it's important to have a Google Business Profile. You need to have a Google Business Profile claimed and verified before using Local. So we're going to go into some basics of that. And then that will feed into why Local matters, which is why we're all here today. I'll turn it over to Mark to talk about the success that he's seen with Local. And then we'll move into a platform demo. I'll pause during that demo for questions as I'm going through features. There's a lot there. I do go pretty quick through the system, but I'll make sure to take some breaks in between just in case any questions pop up. And then we'll break out into a Q&A session. So if there are any questions that pop up that maybe I didn't answer during the demo, that is your time to ask. And I encourage you to. The more fun you have, the more fun I have, the more fun we all have. So that's my goal here today. Then at the end, I'll flash resources for continued support. We are an evergreen solution. We are here for you guys. Our webinar today here is short, but our time together doesn't have to be. So if you need continued support and have questions as you start navigating through our system, we're here for you. And I want to make that super clear that you do have that continued support and enablement through your Local time. So let's jump into it. Getting googly. Why Google matters. So your Google Business Profile is critical for small businesses because it directly impacts online visibility, local search rankings, and customer trust. 77% of the time, Google Maps is being used to search for a nearby business. I like to think of this as how you use Google. Right? If you're searching for stuff in the area, you're looking for something that's close with good reviews and good pictures, right? Those are usually the criteria. So it's really important that consumers that are searching for businesses locally are able to find your business and you're appearing in those local search results. First impressions matter. Like we say here, your Google Business Profile is every business's digital front door. I think of it as a digital first impression. You're displaying key information about your business like hours, photos, and reviews, and people are looking at that often before they even visit your website. Lastly, and probably my most favorite feature of a Google Business Profile, much like this program, it is free and powerful. There is not a lot you can get in today's economy that is free and is also powerful too. A no-cost tool that delivers measurable impact on traffic, engagement, and revenue is such a critical feature of your Google Business Profile. So huge to have this. Very, very important. If you do not have one, that is okay. I like to start with, starting with our Google Business Profile fundamentals. So if you do not have a claimed and verified Google Business Profile, free or not, it is very easy to get set up. So to claim and verify your Google Business Profile, you simply open up Google Maps, enter the business name, click the business name and choose the correct one. Click Claim This Business and then Manage Now, and then select a verification option and follow the on-screen steps to verify. Once that has happened, you can check your verification status by signing into your Google account, and then on Maps, tap your profile picture, select your business profile, and then the status column will show verified, pending, or not verified. A couple tips and tricks here. Your verification options cannot be changed. Google's system automatically determines and shows which methods your business can use based off of your business criteria. The business verification process can take over a week. If you go on Google's website right now and Google how long it takes, it will tell you 5 business days. That is the case for some, but if it is taking a week or longer, just be patient. You can always go back and check your verification status. Google will send a confirmation once your business has been verified. So you don't have to log back in and click refresh just to make sure that your business has been verified. You will get that confirmation email from Google. Lastly, this question comes up a lot. But what's really key is your business does not have to have a physical storefront or an address to have a Google Business Profile. I know traditionally people think, well, if I have a brick and mortar, that makes sense. But service area business is a business type that you can select within Google when you're claiming and verifying your location. While this is more tourism facing, the example I like to think of is like an electrician or a plumber. While they have a presence on Google, right? You could look up plumbers in your area right now. They come to you for service. So if that's the type of business that you offer, and you think you can't be on Google because you don't have a physical address, that is not true. So when you're going through the claiming and verification step, just select that you're a service area business and you will have a presence on Google Maps. Okay, great. So now we have a claimed and verified Google Business Profile. Can't I just manage my Google Business Profile natively through Google? You absolutely can, but Locl is here to make your lives so much easier than that. If anyone is currently using or has used a Google Business Profile to manage their location, it is very clunky. There's not a lot of prompts to tell you what to do. You're kind of left to your own devices and Googling what to do to your Google Business Profile. So Google is here to assist with that. Krista, I did see your hand up. Is there something that I can help with?
I'll unmute her, Kat. Let's see. Krista, let me unmute you. If you have a quick question. Go ahead, Krista. You can ask Kat a question. Oh, yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, so about the location. What if you actually have a physical location, however, you cannot receive mail at that location? Because traditionally, I believe that Google sends you a postcard to verify, right? So what if I have to say, in this situation, you are literally renting a parking space and therefore cannot receive mail at that parking space.
Yep, absolutely. So in that case, Krista, what you'll do is when you're setting up your Google Business Profile, use a mailing address that you do get mail to. So if you're concerned, in that case, that totally makes sense why you wouldn't be getting mail there. So if you have a different mailing address, because a postcard, you're absolutely correct, is one of the verification methods, just select where you receive mail from.
Okay. All right, I'll go back in and give it another shot. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. That's a great question. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, so let's get into why we should use Locl. So Local offers a comprehensive suite of tools designed to enhance and streamline your Google Business Profile management. It provides significant advantages over manual handling. This overarching approach leads to increased visibility, customer engagement, and ultimately business growth. So I'm going to talk about some high-level features that we have, which I'll cover further in the demo of why Local is so great for managing your Google Business Profile. First, we have enhanced security. Google allows users to suggest edits to your Google Business Profile, which can lead to unauthorized or incorrect changes. You guys may have seen it before. If you go and Google something right now on Maps and pull up a business, you'll be able to, there's a little pencil icon and it says suggest an edit. Anyone out in the Googleverse can go in there and suggest an edit to your business. If Google deems that edit as trustworthy, they can push that edit to your Google Business Profile, whether it is correct or incorrect. So Local's Profile Lock feature monitors your listing and prevents those changes from happening, which maintains the integrity of your business information. We also have extended analytics and insights. So Google provides a 6-month data look back, but Local offers up to 18 months worth of historical data for your Google Business Profile, which gives you deeper insights into your profile's performance over time and actions consumers have taken. We also have a social media connector. So you can schedule and publish posts directly to Google, Facebook, and Instagram through Local, which maintains consistent branding and engagement across platforms, also a massive time saver. Lastly, we have comprehensive support and a user-friendly interface. Local is easy to use even without marketing experience. That's how it was designed. If you are a marketer, awesome. If you're not, you're in the right place. And we're here to help you with that so that you understand how to optimize without having to have that experience. We provide clear task recommendations to boost your online visibility, and our support team is here to help you optimize your Google Business Profile every step of the way. We're also here to help with your local account and all things connected with that. Our typical ticket response times are usually 1 business day. We do take a huge level of pride in the fact that we offer a personal touch. I know just from my own life how frustrating it is when you need to ask a question and you get sent a whole bunch of help desk articles as opposed to being connected with a human. There is a real person on the other side of your tickets and questions. It is me. I am your point of contact and I am here to help you. It's very important to us that you receive that level of engagement and personal touch, and a huge piece of Local and why I love it so much. I am looking at the questions in the chat too, and I see a question here about using a PO box as a mailing address. Yes, so if that is your mailing address, a PO box usually isn't accepted. Let me, Laura, go back and just double check Google standards. Typically, they do not allow PO boxes. It needs to be a mailing address as opposed to a PO box, but a great question. So, now we have
Kat,
claimed
I
and
think I
verified.
see. Oh,
Do we have
Kat,
more?
I see one question. Yeah, from Kimberly. It's kind of timely and relevant. It's in the Q&A. Do you see that question, or do you want me to read it to you?
If you could read it, I'm just in the chat. I apologize.
She says, yeah, if we have a Google profile online, can we assume we, Kimberly, are verified?
So I would check your verification status. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are verified. I think what's confusing about claimed and verified is your business can exist on Google Maps and you can claim it. That doesn't necessarily mean it's been verified. What the verification step represents is you're saying, hi, I own this location. I am the manager of this location using Google terms. So you will manage that Google business profile. That's what gets connected to your Google account. So when you start in Local and connect your Google account, it imports that location because it sees you as the manager of that location. So I wouldn't necessarily assume that. I would log into your Google account if you're the manager of that location, and then go back through the prompts and you'll be able to see under that status whether it's been verified or not. Thanks for helping in the Q&A, Matt.
Yeah, no
Okay.
worries. That's what I'm here for. Kimberly, does that answer your question? I unmuted you, so you can use your mic if you need a follow-up question for Kat.
No, that was great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, I
Awesome.
guess not. Okay, Kat.
And
No
then I
worries.
see
Go ahead,
another
Kat.
question here. Can we tell if one of our partner businesses are claimed or verified? So great question. Again, if you don't own this business, it would be someone who manages the business and has that attached to their Google business profile to show whether they're verified. They're likely claimed, but someone will need to take that verification step to be verified. And they would need to, as the acting manager of that Google business profile, they would be the ones to identify whether they're verified or not. I do have a verification checker, which at the end of this webinar, I can send a link out to everyone that registered. So if you have a question about whether a business is verified, you can use this verification checker to track that. So I hope that helps. Okay, great. I love that the questions are rolling in. This is awesome, guys. So we have a claimed and verified Google business profile. Google business profiles are important. That's great. We've now learned some of the awesome features about Locl and how we're going to make managing and optimizing your Google business profile work so much faster for you. So now for those of you that have not signed up, you're saying, how do I start, right? I've convinced you. Here's how you can get started with Locl, and it is so simple. I did want this content to be interactive and engaging. You can use the QR code if you have not created a Locl account yet. If you would like time to set this up, again, we'll pass the webinar out, but please use the Washington Tourism link. That is going to correctly funnel you into the correct place. And then once you set up your Locl account, you will be prompted to connect your Google business profile to Locl, and you'll want to allow Locl access. What that will allow Locl to do is to have all of that Google business profile data so you can start making changes to your Google business profile via Locl. Please complete the onboarding steps. Step number 3 is super, super important. We specifically designed an onboarding tab so that you can get everything imported and onboarded successfully before using Locl. As soon as you finish those onboarding steps, it's only a handful. I promise it only takes a few minutes, and you can go back and change your responses to those onboarding questions if you need to. Once those fields are filled out, you'll complete registration, the onboarding tab disappears, you're all set up for success. So please, please, please connect your Google business profile and please complete the onboarding steps. It's super, super helpful. And then lastly, you're in. That is it. That is all it takes. I promise we make it very painless. One of the coolest features about our program in Washington is you have the ability to choose between 2, we'll call them subscription levels. You can either enroll in premium, which is like the do-it-yourself option, or autopilot. Autopilot is our automation, our AI automation that automates the required tasks that need to be taken to maintain a healthy and visible Google business profile. Again, we'll go through that in the demo, but I'll show you both sides of those subscription levels, and it's whatever works best for you. If you prefer to manage manually, premium's for you. If you would like it to run in the background, autopilot is for you. Autopilot is, as the name suggests, you are in the driver's seat. It does not do anything without your approval. So you will get emails about that when you enroll in autopilot. I don't want people to be like, where are all these emails coming from? But we'll go through that during the demo. So that's how you sign up. That's how you get started with us. And that's how you start a Locl account. Now we've got all that set up, I will turn it over to Mark. And part of the reason why I was so excited that Mark is going to grant us with his presence and his experience with Locl today is Mark has used both our premium and our autopilot. And when we first rolled out autopilot, Mark was one of our release candidates. And you can see, we'll go into scoring as we go through the demo, but he's had an awesome experience with us, and you can see his score fluctuations over time, which relates to online visibility. So really unique to have someone who's used both levels with us and has had such success with local. So Mark, I'll turn it over to you. Thanks so much for being here.
Kat, thanks for having me. And it's finally nice to have a face-to-face, see who I'm talking with and emailing with.
Not a problem at all. Please talk about, your business and I mean, some of the work that we've done on your side to help optimize things. And I know you've seen so much increased visibility, which is great before the busy season for you. So love for you to share that.
Yeah. So when I started this thing in 23, I was new to a small business owner, and I was paying Google ads, and I was just going down that black hole of throwing money away. When you pay for the ads, you get sponsored and you're upfront. But once you stop paying and you realize how much you've spent, you drop down to the bottom again and you're not visible. So the best day for the past 3 years is a phone call from Travel Oregon at the Portland International Airport wanting me to do a coastal tour. Well, I didn't get the booking, but I got something better. I got introduced to Locl and Cat Sherry, and boom, it skyrocketed. And so I highly suggest everybody go with this company. And two things that Kat, you mentioned earlier, free and powerful. The free is just the bonus. The powerful is the key word, because my appearance, as you can see, from May 24th, it went from almost zero, now 53% higher in visibility on my Google profile. So it's been incredible. And, after doing a long 8-hour wine tour, the last thing I want to do is get on Instagram and Facebook and post. And that's what autopilot does for me. I don't have to do that. And I love it. I get an email a week before it's getting posted, and I can edit it. I can change the picture. I can add hashtags, whatever needs to be done to where it's perfect. And I forget about it. And then I see it on my Google profile, or I see it on the Facebook, business profile. So it's great.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. I'm so excited with the success that you've seen. I'm excited for everyone here to see that same success. And a lot of the features that Mark is talking about, because there might be some questions, we'll launch into during our demo. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause. If anyone has a local account and wants to follow along with us, I'll give you a minute to get that pulled up. I'm actually going to use Mark's account to demo on so that you guys can see the work that we've done and what autopilot does versus our premium subscription, which is the do-it-yourself option. So let me stop sharing here for a minute, and I will get his account pulled up in the background. All right. Awesome. Okay. So after we finish our onboarding steps, that tab up at the top will disappear. I'm going to start at our overview page. Now, I go really, really quickly through this platform because I live and breathe in it. So if I'm going too fast, just remind me, I will go back and show you something again if you need to see it. So what makes local really cool, right? We said you don't have to have marketing experience to understand how to use local and how to optimize. That is associated with our local scoring tool. So you can think of a local score as a FICO score. If you don't, that gives you anxiety. I like to think of it as a Google Business Profile Health Score. So out of 850, the higher your score, green, the healthier, the more visible your Google Business Profile is. What helps with that score is, one, tells us where things are going really, really well. Two, it also very quickly tells you where things need to be addressed. So if Mark had a very low recent activity score, I know that those are activities that I need to adjust. So we'll go into each feature and how it ties into each of these scores. So out of 850, we have our foundational score. Think of this as a business description, a business name, hours, all of that core contact information that builds up your Google business profile. Recent activity is associated with recent photos and video uploads, how recently you've been reviewed, how recently you have responded to reviews. And then lastly is our directory score. So directory score is associated with our directory sync. That's this tab up here. While you do not have to have a directory sync to be a part of Washington's program, I do want to call out that it is a paid add-on service to give a super boost to your profile. Essentially what Directory Sync does is takes your listing information and enrolls that across 50 top directories. Why that supercharges your listing is because one, you don't have to manually go in and add your listing to Bing, Uber, Waze, all of these places, right? It does it automatically for you in the background. 2, Google likes prominence. If it sees that your listing information is available on all these other directories, it goes, wow, that's an important business. When someone is searching for wine tours, I need to pull Mark's profile to the top of my search. So again, you don't need to have directory sync to be part of this program. It is a paid add-on service, and I'm happy to connect with anyone afterwards who wants to discuss that more, but it's available to you if you want to have it. So all of these three build up our overall business score. What's also very cool about Locl, which you won't find in Google, is we have over here to this side, whether you're on premium or autopilot. Autopilot will tell you what actions it's taking, right? Because it automates all of those functions that we don't have time for as small business owners. So anything upcoming that autopilot has scheduled, Mark can come in and see here. Once it completes, it goes down here. If you are on our premium subscription, do not worry. What this is going to say up here is how to improve your score. And it will function the same way. It is like a running checklist of action items you can take, and it is sorted by priority as well. So you're not scrambling around like you would be in Google natively saying, you know, what's more important? Should I respond to reviews? Should I upload pictures? All that is organized for you. And then just like a checklist, as you complete those, they will fall under here as your completed to-dos. The other screenshot that I took of Mark's score over time, this is where you see your return on investment. So as actions are taken or not taken, because there are consequences of doing nothing, we don't want a stale Google business profile, right? You can see over time how those scores change, what actions have been taken, how that's impacted your score. Part of joining Locl is weekly you will receive a Locl score email from us. This is us saying, hello, we're here and you need to log in and check on things, right? It's easy to forget about. We're juggling a lot and I totally understand that. So this helps with our engagement. You'll receive those weekly. You can pop in, check to see what's going on. If you've had a recent review or photos or videos need to be uploaded, this tracker here will tell you. Conversely, if you're using autopilot, you can log in to check to see what autopilot has scheduled for you, right? It's our virtual assistant. So all of this is your overview dashboard of your Google business profile. So I'm going to start moving into some features. If you need to reset your password, you will want to use that. There's a sign-in link once you go to Locl, and I can send it after as well. You'll just use that same sign-in, and then at the bottom, there's a little icon that says forgot your password ? And you can reset it that way. Directory sync is a annual charge. And it is $79 per location, again, annually, and that's 12 months of unlimited syncs. So if any of your business information changes, while some people aren't like moving locations, I do say like a phone number or an address can change, something like that. Those syncs happen automatically in the background once you update Locl. Your you are available to have as many syncs as you need to as your business information changes. Okay, so
And then
let's,
Kat, sorry, we
yes.
had one other question.
Oh,
And
Q&A.
I'm happy to jump on this if you want, but could you give an example of how this might be a useful product for hotels?
Yes, absolutely. So what I would love to do, I'm like, let me start with, let's do some foundational scores. So if we go into foundational, and this is going to be good for hotels, but really any business. So when I come in to my Manage Locations tab, I'm going to select Edit here. And here is where that core Google Business Profile information lives. So a lot of what helps hotels is a lot of what helps restaurants, touring services, other attractions. So when you come in here, obviously Mark has autopilot turned on. One of the features of autopilot, and you should be using, even if you have a premium level subscription with us, is having a keyword rich business description. If you are a hotel, very important to have, right? Hotels are a very competitive area of business to be in. So it's really important that you have a keyword rich business description. So when people are on Google and saying, where's a place to stay in Washington, you're pulling to the top and you're getting those prospective customers seeing your Google Business Profile. So what AI does for our autopilot subscription level is every month we generate a keyword rich business description based off of the key search terms that your business was found for. We already have marks used. So again, this changes monthly. If people are looking for wines, craft beers, spirits, those words are going to start popping up in your keyword rich business description. This is the quickest way to optimize your business description. This gets forgotten about a lot, and a lot of people don't take a lot of time with it. I have seen some people, like in Mark's case, where he's like, I give really great wine distillery and craft brewery tours, and then that's all it says. While all of that is true, there's not a lot to that, right? So we're looking for something sticky when when customers are searching for us. So that's what autopilot does here. If you're not using autopilot, that is totally fine. Please incorporate those keywords, and I'll show you how to find those as well. Another key factor of local that is super handy is we have operating hours. Okay, we got that, Kat. That one's easy. But what's really cool is our special business hours. I guarantee you there's someone on this call that has gone to a business after Googling it and it said it was open and you went there and it was closed. That stinks. And I don't want your prospective customers to have that experience with your location. What special hours does, and this is very timely because we have Memorial Day and Juneteenth and 4th of July coming up, is if you have abbreviated hours or closures during these holidays, you can come into local and make those changes. So your customers know whether you're open or not. Really, really handy. And if these holidays, traditional holidays, don't apply, like maybe you're closing because you're getting electric work done, or like one of the computer places down the street from me just had a whole new parking lot repaved, so they had to close for a day. So if it's not a traditional holiday, you can come in and add a date that you're closed that maybe you aren't traditionally closed. So I did want to mention that. Then coming up to the top here, this will be good again for our hotels and our other businesses as
Hey,
well.
Kat?
Yes.
Do we
Can
lose?
you hear and see me okay? We're having a hard time with hearing and seeing you. You're freezing.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I
Kat, are
can
you there?
see you. I can see you just fine.
Okay. Well, maybe you turn off your camera because now we can hear you okay. It might just be a poor
Matt, I think
connection.
this might be on your end because you're kind of freezing for me in the middle of you're like in the middle of what you're saying.
Oh, maybe it's my connection.
I can
I'm
hear and
sorry.
see fine.
Please continue then.
Okay. Phew.
Okay, excellent.
Don't want that to happen, but thank you, Matthew. That's perfect. Okay. All right, good. Tech checks, guys. It keeps us human here, right? Okay, great. I'm so glad everyone can hear me. I'm going to move on to another important piece. So if we scroll up to the top here of your info hours and categories section, off to the side here, I know there's a lot on this page and I move really quick, so don't worry, we have it recorded and I'm happy to go back and show you things. Off to the side here are categories. Hoteliers, this is really important for you guys. Restaurateurs, like this is important for you. Having a primary category is required by Google standards, right? When you go in and claim a Google business profile, you have to pick a category. However, additional categories gets forgotten about pretty frequently. And it is super important. What additional categories do is, perfect example with Mark here. He's a tour operator, but he also offers transportation. So this allows him to open up his prospective customer audience to something larger than just tour operator. I'm going to go in here. I won't make any changes, but Autopilot does generate additional categories if you are lost. And I know this can be a little bit hard to use, and we are at the mercy of Google. So there is a caveat with this. Google updates these categories regularly. I was working with a boutique hotel, and boutique hotel was an option within additional categories. And just a couple weeks ago, it was pulled and Google added a whole bunch of other categories. So it is important to come back to categories just to see what's changing. So for our hoteliers, here's what I'm going to do for you. If this were a hotel business, I would come in here and type in hotel. From here, you're going to have all of these different options for what hotel you're running and what options you have. So very similar to what Mark did here, I can do the same thing for tour. If he is giving any of these tours, this applies as well. What's important about this is please don't stretch to something you're not. Like for Mark, I wouldn't put in that he offers electrical services, right? It doesn't make sense. So open up your categories to things that fit. You have a lot of options within here. It's really easy to search to see what's available. Add additional categories, and we have it here. You can add up to 8. So feel free, again, if it fits, to add more categories if it applies to your business. Again, this is what people are searching for. We want to make sure your prospective customers can find you. So open it up if that makes sense and fits for your business. Address. I don't want people, we talked about service area businesses, right? I don't want people to panic that there is an address location. If you have a service area business, you do not have to fill in this information. Don't have to have it. If you do have a physical brick and mortar, please make sure that this information is correct. We want to make sure people can find you. Service area also gets forgotten about a lot. I also think there's confusion because we use the term service area business and then a brick and mortar like storefront. If you have either business, you have a service area. It is very important to include a service area because I can guarantee you if I go into Mark's keyword searches, which I'll show you how to find, tour operation or wine tours near me is probably top of his search right now. People look for things locally, right? 77% of searches are local in nature. So it's very important that you have service areas selected where you are servicing your business. So the caveat with this, you can add up to 20, which is a pretty wide range, pretty big territory. However, again, just like our categories, don't stretch to fit something that it shouldn't be. Like we're not going to pick Wyoming here. And while I'm sure Mark would love to have people from Wyoming come in and take tours from him, this does not make sense. Also, under Google's guidelines, you have to have a service area that is within a 2-hour driving distance of your business. So whether that is a service area business or a physical storefront, again, don't stretch yourself to a territory you don't have, but also include a service area. So very, very important to have. Lastly, again, is just administrative stuff. Your website URL, your Google Maps URL, a phone number. If you have additional phone numbers, we have the ability to add multiple phone numbers. And then there's just other online profile and contact information. Again, for our hoteliers or tour operators, restaurants, you do have the ability to add in your appointment links as well here. What Mark will not see on his profile because he is not a restaurant. At the very bottom, if you keep scrolling here and you are a restaurant, there is an option to add a menu with services. Really, really helpful. So when people are Googling, they don't even have to look at your website for a menu. It displays your menu options as people are Googling. You can include photos and pricing and then descriptions as well. It's really good for our restaurant folks as well. Okay, we've gotten our core Google Business Profile fundamentals. Michelle, did you have something to add?
I was gonna see if now would be a good time to jump in with a question from the Q&A.
Absolutely.
The question is, how does Locl work with Meta Scheduler, or does Locl supersede it? Also, is there a Locl app or is it browser-based?
We are browser-based. You can also use this on an app. For Meta, I'm going to come in, I'm going to skip ahead to connected accounts since that's where our question is directing us. You do have the ability to connect your Facebook and your Instagram. If you have anything scheduled in Meta Business, once you connect Facebook and Instagram, it will import those posts from Facebook and Instagram that have already published out. If you have Facebook or Instagram posts yet to be published, once those are published, those will appear in Locl to be repurposed on Google. So I'm going to get more into posts in a minute, but that's where you can go to connect those. It does not supersede them. It works in tandem. Awesome. Okay. So let's get back to our, again, manage locations. I hit edit. We've gone through info, hours, and categories. Within this same tab, we're just going to scoot on over to attributes and services. Again, very important stuff to see. I'm sure that you guys have seen this as you've been Googling things as well. You can select business attributes that apply to your business. Veteran-owned, woman-owned, whatever applies, you can select those. Once they're selected, they show up as blue. Accessibility is huge. Amenities are really, really big. And our favorite one is parking. I hear parking come up a lot. So selecting those, really, really important. If you scroll down to the bottom, while we talked about categories is a little stringent, right? We are at the mercy of what Google provides us. And there's a stretch, right? Obviously, Mark is more than just a tour operator. So he can come in here, ta-da, and add services that expand beyond just tour operator. That could mean a lot of things, right? So this is where you can come in and start adding services under those categories that apply to your business. He has private tours, wine tours, brewery tours, distillery tours. This is all great. If that service does not exist, you can click add service and you can add a custom service. So this allows you to be more flexible with the services or the products that you're offering your customers. Again, very important to have services filled out. Categories are important. Services help boost that as well and give you more flexibility to show customers what you are offering. Really, really important to have. Okay, we talked about profile lock and our added security. So within this same tab, we're scooting over to the side again, and I'm going to click profile lock and edit history. So profile lock, again, keeps unwanted changes from happening in your Google Business Profile. By default, your location will be unlocked. So once you start a Locl account, if you want to lock out those changes, you just need to toggle your lock switch on. What I will say is, if you try to make changes to your Google Business Profile and your account is locked in Locl and you make changes outside of Locl to your Google Business Profile, Profile lock will block those changes. So what Profile lock does is not only keep out unwanted changes, but also makes your local account your single source of truth. I have folks that reach out all the time where they forget to log into local and then they make changes in Google, which does make me a little bit sad. But then those changes get reverted and they're like, I don't know what's happening. You have profile lock on. So super, super handy to have, but also remember when it is on, you can't make changes in Google natively, that will stick. Profile lock does its job, and that was what it was intended to do. If you are ever curious about changes, because Google will email you if a change happens to your Google business profile, if you're ever curious about what profile lock is doing in the background, you can always come to your activity and it shows you the last 30 days. What's really great here is you can view details and what changes profile lock prevented. Super, super handy. Turn it on if you want to block out those changes. We do see Google AI suggest a lot of changes now more frequently. So those are getting passed through. But again, once it's on, local is your single source of truth. You'll need to log into local to make changes to your Google business profile. All right. Any questions about our managed locations and our foundational Google business profile information? And I don't have the Q&A open, so I'll need some help there, Matt.
I don't see any, Kat. I was just going to give you a time check. We're within our 10 minutes left. So if there's any specific questions in regard to the dashboard and the demo, go ahead and ask those for Kat now. We'll open for broader questions after that. But any specific questions for Kat as it relates to the setup of local and a local account? Okay, Kat, keep on going then. Is there anything else?
Yeah, so we have other features, right? We talked about that. You have your core information, which is great to have set up. What's also very important in here is I'm toggling down to the side. Photos and videos, very important to have. Autopilot, if you go in and do a bulk drop of photos and videos, you can schedule those to be uploaded at certain points during the month. It gives you a collection. It will schedule those to upload in the background. If you're doing this manually, what we ask for, our Autopilot does this automatically, but we ask for fresh photos and videos monthly. Google's algorithm is very hungry. It likes to see someone is alive and interacting with their customers. So as many beautiful photos and videos as you can get in here, Mark has done a wonderful job. You can also upload a logo and a cover photo to Google too via your local account. So very important to have a consistent stream of fresh content, just like social media within your photos and videos tab. I'm going to move pretty quickly here. Posts are also very important. It is social media for Google. That is all you need to know. What posts do is advertise business updates to your prospective customers. Autopilot schedules these out for you. Here they are, and you will see a preview of upcoming scheduled posts and then the dates that they're going to publish. Again, just like Mark said, you have full control over this. If you don't like a picture, you want a different picture, a different caption, you can go in at any time. I can select edit here and say, oh, I want to change some of this around. I want a different picture. I want some new hashtags, right? You can go in and change that and you can publish right away if you want to. If you are manually creating a post, let's say you are an attraction or a shop, you're running offers or events, you can come in and create a post manually. You can select event or offer. I'm going to show you what event looks like. Event starts, event ends. You can pick your event start and end dates. Very important, right? What you'll title it, the description, your call to action button, and boom, because Mark has his Facebook connected, I can even post this to my Facebook by toggling this switch on. Super, super handy. Maybe your event isn't until 4th of July and you want to get it done now. Fantastic. We can schedule that to go out on July 4th. You can come in here and you can pick July 4th and you'll hit publish and it'll be ready to go for you on July 4th. Don't have to worry about it. So that is posting in a nutshell. I'm going to go into reputation as well. So Mona, I've noticed that autopilot suggests business descriptions that do not end in complete sentences. Can we absolutely, Mona, if you're experiencing any issues with those business descriptions, please send them over. This is a great transition. Here in your local account is a support chat bot. Those will get sent to me. This is our preferred method for reaching out to us because we'll have all your account information. Send me a ticket. I am right on the other side and I will get you helped. Thank you so much for asking that. Awesome. Okay, really quickly, reputation. This is our review management page. You can come in and manage reviews this way. This is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, and Matt's going to kick me off if I do. So the only thing that I wanted to point out here is if you are struggling to get reviews, you can click on Get More Reviews here to share with your customers. Here's how it looks in the wild. Mark just shared this link with me. Wow, here I am. Now I can give Mark 5 stars and talk about how great my wine tour was with him. Really, really easy to collect reviews that way. Please use that link to solicit more reviews because we know you're all 5 stars here. Okay, great. I just sped through all of that. I'm going to open it up to some Q&A if there were any more questions.
Thanks, Kat. Great job. This was jam-packed full of information. I love the dashboard. I think, as people start to kind of formulate their questions, I have a quick one. Let's, talk about what local will be able to do in the future with AI. Could AI kind of respond or help people respond to negative reviews? Is that
Absolutely.
an aspect that local can help with?
Love that question. So when you have, Mark has his turned off, you can always turn off functions in autopilot. So he has his toggled off. You can always come into your automated review replies and we have them categorized. Obviously, this is grayed out because Mark has it turned off. But you can turn it on for 2 and 1 star reviews. And you can also respond to them yourself, but it does help you when you're in those sticky situations and need to get back to a customer gently about a review that they've left. So we do have those categorized by ratings because that's based on your experience.
Well said. Okay, excellent. I'm glad that is incorporated. Okay, folks, we have a few minutes left. Any questions? You can pop those in the chat. And this is a friendly audience. I recognize a few names, so I can also unmute you if you'd like to kind of voice your question to Kat or Mark or Michelle. We can unmute you. Just raise your hand and I can do that for you. Otherwise, pop your question into the Q&A feature. I'm looking at the chat as well, but this is a great time to talk to Mark, Michelle, or Kat. Oh, I see a question that just came in from Sunny. Do you see that too, Kat?
I do. So as a resort retreat center, as well as individual cabins rented in a wedding venue, I want to advertise beyond local. Is that a different company than local? So extending your audience beyond your local community, yes, that would be a full-fledged advertising campaign that you would want to launch or a marketing strategy. This is specifically, as the name suggests, for local because, again, 77% of searches are happening local. So this is going to optimize your local presence. But it is important to have a good local presence so that you have a good nationwide presence when people are searching for you.
Yeah, and if I could just build on that a little bit, Kat, local is not an advertising platform. It's really
Correct.
a free service to optimize what tools Google provides to you so that when locals or visitors are searching for you, you're putting your best foot forward.
Yes, well said, Michelle. Mark, before we sign off today,
Yes.
what advice would you give to people? I mean, there's might be some folks on the call today that are their first time experimenting, excuse me, with local. What challenges did you face? How did you overcome them? It sounds like Kat's great to help with any kind of technical issues, but what other advice would you give to people that are about to start or create a local account?
Save your money. Don't go down the Google ad rabbit hole. Just go ahead, sign up with local. It does it for you, and just watch your Google business profile grow. I mean, from the demo, you saw the arrows go straight up, right? There we go. That's pretty much a prime example. And don't hesitate. Get the autopilot. Get
Cool.
outside
Perfect.
and have fun.
Thanks, Mark.
Right.
Okay, folks, any other questions or comments in the chat, Q&A, or you can raise your hand. Kat, any last parting words, advice from you?
Thank you, Washington. This has been a blast. If you want to get in touch with us, I did flash up some continued resources. I think of questions after the fact. Please don't feel like you had to ask all of that here. You can reach out to us at Locl, and then we have some links so that you can keep in touch with Washington Tourism as well. We're in partnership together. So continued support is a huge part of this program. We are an evergreen solution. We are here to help your businesses. Please keep those questions and tickets coming into us. Chatbot is our preferred method. It helps me stay organized. So please use your ticket queue. But we're still here if you need anything. And I look forward to helping you guys. And again, keeping this momentum going. We've seen such amazing engagement since launching this program a couple months ago. And I'm already seeing signups come in. So great job, everyone.
Awesome, Kat. And Michelle, did you have any last words?
No, thank you so much, everyone. We're very excited for this program, and we hope that it does provide value for your businesses. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me as well as Kat. And then I dropped a link in the chat. If you're not already signed up for our industry newsletter, please do sign up there. That's where we announce programs like Locl, our grant programs, and other relevant information.
Awesome. And thank you folks on the call for joining us today. Stay tuned for the next webinar in the Tourism Skillshop on June 26th, where we explore the topic of Canadian visitation. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Kat, Mark, and Michelle, if you want